welcome to the channel Crossing the Spiritual Streams, and my name is Tandra, and today we're going to do another pick-a-card reading. This one is going to be on what can you expect in the next 2 weeks. This is a timeless reading, so anytime that you run across this video and watch it, it should apply. You are to focus on a particular pile, whichever one draws your attention, not so much by your eyes, but by your gut feeling, whichever one kind of draws you towards it. And we'll tell you a little bit about the piles here real quick. This one's pile 1, and it has a number 3. Oop, fix that. This is pile 2, and it has a number 10. This is pile 3, and it has a number 4. Okay, so we're going to give you a minute here to kind of meditate and figure out which one you want to choose, and we'll see you back at the first reading. Hello, and welcome to your reading for pile 1. And our little die here has a number 3 on it. And 3 usually is a very creative number. It deals a lot with using your voice and your creativity and other things that have to do with creating things. So let's see what our cards here that might pertain to that. All right, we have the Queen of Swords, the Star card. Okay. The King of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. All kinds of. And the Knight of Swords. Oh, man, lots of major arcana cards today. The Seven of Cups. The Ace of Swords. And Justice. Okay. And the Fool or the Traveler. I always like calling the Fool card the Traveler card. And the Three of Pentacles. And the Hermit. Okay. Right off the bat, what I'm getting here is definitely creativity. It definitely goes along with our number 3. I think we've got some creativity stuff going on here. We've got the Star card. Um, we've got the uh, King of Pentacles. We've got the Hermit. And we've got the Traveler card. So all of those kind of make me feel very much in the way of creativity and following your heart and being creative. The Hermit, for instance. This card denotes that you need some time alone. You need to maybe meditate, think on some things, whatever might help with your creative endeavors. If you're doing something creative, I think you need to look inward to pull that creativity out. And then we've got the Traveler card here. You could be going on a quick journey, or maybe traveling out with nature would be great, I think, right now to help pull in this creativity, this creative energy. Get out and about. You know, she's by a river here. She's got her dog with her. You know, she's going on about the world and seeing what she can see. And I think if you can get out and maybe even take a short trip or some walks or something, I think this will help your creative juices flow. So I think that's something you need to work on in the next 2 weeks for sure. And then we got the star card, and this one's definitely she's taking and pouring water into this flowing stream, and she's got these stars. And if you ever think of wish upon a star, that's definitely creative and dreamlike in your dreams and what you can think to create. And the river flowing is also another creative energy. So I think your creative juices are gonna be flowing really, really well in the next 2 weeks, especially if you kind of look inward and do some stuff. We got the King of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles, which are pretty powerful because we got another three, which once again is creativity. They're creating things here. It's also almost religious as well. But look, he's got his hammer here and he's putting up these pentacles. He's working on this entryway, this window area. And so once again, he's creating something. So that three is definitely more creative energy and all. And with the pentacles, that's more of a down to earth or earthly energy. And so is the king. Um, so I think once again, getting back into nature, going out into nature, do some meditation in nature. If you can get out into the woods or do other things like that, I think that's really important in the next 2 weeks. That's probably something that is going to be an opportunity for you. Um, We have a couple of swords cards here. Now, swords usually denote some sort of anxiety or your mind, your intellect, some different aggression, your ideas. And so that's really good to go with this creative energy because if you can use what's in your mind and your thoughts and flow them towards this creative energy, I think you've got a lot of creativity coming in the next 2 weeks. Because you've got the knight who charges in and has got all this energy and does all this. He's charging into battle. You have the ace, which is a starting a new beginning. So you could be starting this energy, this whole ideas and full of ideas and this passions and going forward. Um, with your creative ideas. So I think it's going to be starting. You've got the knight who's going to charge in and do it, and you've got the queen who's kind of in charge of it all. She's got it. It's also a feminine energy, and once again, getting back to earth, uh, dealing is it's an air energy, so that's pulling in things with your mind. But once again, that's a kind of a creativity kind of thing. Even though cups is usually the creative suit, it's still you can use your mind for this creativity here and get down to earth to do it. Get into the earth to do it. I think is what we're looking at here. And then that kind of leads us. We've got the Justice card, which is just a balance more than anything here because you see how her scales here. She has some fall type stuff and some summer type stuff and spring and all. So she's very balanced. She's got everything on either side of her here. And that gets back to getting back into nature, meditating, doing other things, get yourself back into balance, and those creative energies will definitely flow. So it's something, if you can do that in the next 2 weeks, that's something that should definitely come to fruition. And then we've got the Seven of Cups, and that's an emotional card, but she's very happy and carefree. She's got her butterfly and she's flying in the air and she's, just way, way out there. And so emotionally, this is a very good card. Seven's even kind of a lucky number. Seven can denote change, upheaval, and some other stuff. So you might be going through a little bit of upheaval in your life, and maybe that's why you need to get away and meditate and get back to nature because maybe there's been some upheavals going on, but I think if you can get yourself into nature, even in the seven, she's out in nature. She's flying her butterfly kite out in this wonderful field. So if you get back into nature, I think it'll help with some of these upheavals that you might be feeling. That might be some of what these sword cards are denoting a little bit as well. There might be some anxieties or a lot of things going on in your life, maybe some conflict even, some other stuff. But I think in the next 2 weeks, if you can get yourself out out into nature, do the meditation, do your wishing, get your imagination, get your creative ideas going. I think things are going to work out really well for you in the next 2 weeks, but it's really important to do that. I really think you're going to have to connect with your inner self, connect with nature, and all that to be able to do it. We'll go ahead and we've got some astrology, Black Moon astrology cards here. We'll see if we can pull out one that might kind of help us with this. I'm not extremely familiar with this deck yet. I got it as a birthday present, so I thought it might be nice for this reading. And we'll see if we can get a card to help us along or maybe affirm what we've been saying. Maybe. A little hard to shuffle because they're kind of big, but I think we're going to get a card here. Oh, there's one that flipped over there. Ah, Venus Love. Okay. When I think of this card, before I'll go in to see what the book has to say, but once again, it's a number 4, and 4 is a very balanced number, so I think you need to get some balance here. Maybe in your love life. That might be for some of you. That might be some of the upheaval we're going on in here. Um, but it's a good positive energy. Venus is a good, it's an energy also great for creativity. Uh, she's in charge of a lot of that planet is along with a lot of stuff in astrology that deals with creativity. So I think once again it's a good creative card, and the balance thing. So I think between the two, I think we're getting stuff kind of going on together here. All right, let's see what the book has to say. Says to let love take care of it for now. Okay, that works. Venus is in the morning star and the brightest of the planets. It is the planet of beauty and balance and is named after the goddess of love and romance, which is what the planet rules. In Scandinavian lands, the equivalent of the Roman goddess Venus was Freya. Among the Greeks, she was Aphrodite. Venereal disease is named for Venus, after all. She charms and she seduces. She was once associated with Lucifer, who was not a demon but an angel of light who fell to earth plain from the heavens. In reality, part of the astrological chart Venus rules is where we want the good life, where we desire ease and comfort, sweets and kisses, where we want to see beautiful, be beautiful, and smell beautiful. Venus co-rules the signs of Libra and Taurus, but the energies function differently in these signs. In Libra, Venus works best in the fields of beauty, social balance, and romantic love, while in Taurus, Venus stands for creature comforts and accumulating fineries. In both signs, Venus is very partner-oriented. There is a great need to unite with one another when the Venus card presents itself. This can bring on codependency and fears of going it alone. Both Libra and Taurus are signs best supported in some form of partnership, but it does not necessarily have to be a romantic marriage. Okay. I think that's perfect for what we've been going on here because we've got Venus in Libra, which is very balanced, which goes along with the Justice card because that's even kind of the sign of Libra. And then we've got, uh, excuse me, we've got her with the other sign, which deals with a little bit more of the fineries in life and what we want there. So I think this goes along with follow your heart and the star card here, and even the Three of Pentacles. Create something fine for yourself and get the fineries in life. So I think it just goes right along with what we've been saying all along. And it could also mean that it's very important to have a good relationship and partnership going and not be so anxious about that because I think some of you might be very anxious about your partner at this moment. And it doesn't have to be the romantic partner again, it could be any kind of partner, but you might be anxious with that. Or maybe some upheaval that we were talking about in your life has to deal with a partnership, which is fine. You can go it alone if necessary. Just find that balance, however that needs to go. Okay, I think this is all we have for reading 1 today. And if you like it, please hit the like button and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notified at any new videos that we have coming up. And if you'd like to donate to the channel for any reason, we'll have a link down in the description that will have our link to PayPal. And we'll see you next time. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pile 2. And Pile 2 has a number 10 on the die. Now, number 10's always kind of denote a completion or an ending or even a fulfillment of something. So let's see if our cards have anything to do with this here. They might. Page of Pentacles. Wow, okay. Page of Wands. Ooh, lots of youthful energy going on. Ace of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, the Moon card. All right, and we got the King of Swords and the Page of Swords. Man, lots of pages. My goodness. I'm going to put them together, I think. And we also have the Page of Cups. Wow. Lots of youthful energy going on here. And then we've got the Three of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. Two aces of pentacles. Wow. Okay. And the Queen of Pentacles. Wow. Whew. This is exciting. All right. Okay. I was drawn to the Three of Wands card because threes are kind of creativity and so are wands. And she's looking up at the moon and got all these fireflies and she's got her dog and she's looking at a falling star. And it's just wow, I just think of creativity and wishes and dreams and all of that with this card. It just that's kind of what just came in my head with all that. But we also have all of these pentacle cards and all of these page cards. My goodness gracious, we you have a page of every suit going on here. Um, I think. Let's see. Pretty sure it's what we had going. Let's see. We've got the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, you have all four of them here. And that, to me, just denotes so much youthful energy. I also see, wow, I mean, because they all show something different. Uh, almost going out on journeys. Some of them are coming back, like the Page of Cups. He's um, actually, this is the Knight of Cups. Okay, this set's always goofy. It has a knight helmet for the pages and a horse head for the knights, and so I always kind of mix them up for a second. Yeah, this is the Knight of Cups. Because I was thinking, wait, he's coming back. He's not going anywhere. He's coming back. He's coming back with his spoils, which is great because that goes along with the Pentacle cards for sure. Okay, but we have the other three pages here: the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, and the Page of Swords. Now, we also have another sword. We have the King of Swords here, and whenever I come across the Swords cards, a lot of times it will denote anxieties and all, but sometimes, especially if they're the face cards, I see it more as ideas or mind or intellect or coming, lots of thoughts coming forward very quickly, um, and lots of thought energy, that kind of energy. And I so sometimes I think of that more so than the anxiety or more so than uh, being worried or scared. I think some of the other swords cards are a little bit more like that than these two, because I think the page is going out. He's getting ready for, getting his knight ready to do his errands and what he needs to do. Might even be delivering messages, maybe. And then we got the king. That's a very Kings are very powerful energies. They're full of strength and know what's good. So in a lot of ways, the knight of or the king of swords is very much ready to go out and do whatever battle, ready to fight for whatever he needs to. Um, but he's not necessarily going out anywhere. He's just ready to if need be. And I think you might be getting into some battles here. You might be having some stuff, but victory is definitely coming forward here because we've got the knight coming back with his cups. He's like, yay, see, we won. His horse is draped with all kinds of finery. And then we've got these pentacle cards. We've got the page. She's bringing, her pinnacle to wherever she needs to go. And she's out in these beautiful cherry, or no, they're not cherry blossoms, but they always remind me of cherry blossoms. Out in this tree. They're very beautiful in spring. And you've got the queen, another powerful energy. And she's got her nice treasure box here. She's so full. She's so happy. So whatever battles had to be fought, the spoils and all have come to her at this point. And then we've all got the Ace of Pentacles too. And we got two of those. And aces always denote beginnings and starting. And in this case, I think Pentacles deals a little bit more with earthly wants and desires and abundance and that kind of thing. So I think in the next couple weeks, you could be starting to get what you're looking for here, and maybe even get a little bit more in that along with the queen. Or maybe the queen represents you. You have that power to get what you want and what you need abundance wise, and that's where the wishing upon the star it comes in. And also the moon card has that energy as well. It's very much like the three of wands in a lot of ways, because she's going out, she's in the moonlight again. Once again, that's a lot of emotional energy, a lot of stuff going on emotionally, but she's got her light and she's got her wolves who have a lot of knowledge and know what's going on, and she knows a lot. She's very intuitive. She knows a lot of what's going on. So we've got wishing upon the star and the moon, and then we got the moon card that she knows what's coming and what's happening. So we kind of have the beginning energy and then also the wise energy going along with that. And that's kind of what these other cards are like too. We have the beginning energy with the beginning pentacles, and then we have the wise energy with the queen. We have the youthful energy with the page. We have the youthful with the page of swords, but then the more wise energy with the king of swords. So I think it's very much a lot of new beginning stuff going on in the next 2 weeks, but you'll be wiser, stronger, and richer for it. Maybe not monetarily, but richer for it emotionally, or possibly with whatever is important to you in life. So I think a lot of new starts, new stuff, exciting things. Charging into new endeavors, new battles, whatever it takes. But then emotionally, you got your wishes and your wisdom and other things coming forward here. Now we do have a Black Moon astrology deck here, and we're going to go ahead and maybe pull a card from that and see what we can think from it. We also have the book here to see a little bit about what it has to say. Oop, guess that one's Libra balance. Well, we're getting lots of balance stuff in the last couple of readings. Okay. And I think that kind of goes along with what we're seeing here, because we've got the youthful energy and then the wise energy. So it's a very balance between the two things. We've got running out, doing what needs to be done, having all that energy, having all those thoughts, all of that. And then we have the wisdom of the queen and the king and the moon, which is, they've gone out, they've seen all these things, and now they're have the energy that it take, or the wisdom that they need. And so once again, it's a balance. We've got balances going on here, and so I think that just kind of goes along with this. Let's see what the book has to say about it, in case it's anything that might come to light here for us. All of my life, my heart has yearned for a thing I cannot name. Andre Breton. I think that goes along with this Three of Wands, wishing upon the star, wishing for things. I think very much you've got a lot of wishes in your mind, and you might even start. That's what these Ace of Pentacles are about. You're going to start to see the glimmer of your wishes coming true. But this says, don't go it alone. Linking it up with a partner will serve you best. Libra is a sign of balance, charm, and beauty. Librans are notorious for their wit, ability, and weigh and judge, as well as their appreciation for the beautiful things in life. They adore collecting striking things, that means objects and people. Librans are aesthetics with love of art and literature, and at times be showy and vainglorious. Librans are known for changing their minds and opinions. What is true one day may not be true the next. Because they are so balanced, they see all sides to every issue. But they tend to facilitate and have trouble coming to any final decision. Librans tend to have second thoughts and change their minds at the last minute. They will also float along waiting for matters to resolve on their own without pushing as hard as they need to. Librans make outstanding judges and negotiators. They can be agreeable and sometimes agree to things they don't want, sacrificing what they truly feel and think just to get along. There is also the sarcastic Libra who loves to test his wit against others. Their quick-witted retorts are filled with sarcasm and sharp accuracy. John Lennon and Oscar Wilde are examples of the acerbic wit that Librans are so famous for. Okay, I think for some of you, after reading that and listening to the messages that it had to say, I think some of you are having trouble with what you want. You're vacillating between one idea and the next. You're going from one extreme to the other. And that's what some of these cards are denoting for a few of you. I don't think it's everybody. I think what we had to say earlier was for most people. But I think for a few specific people, you're having trouble making up your mind in the next 2 weeks. You're having trouble getting that balance you need in life. You're having trouble knowing what you want and what you need and what your dreams are. You're having conflicts between your earthly desires and your wish upon a star type desires. You're having trouble balancing those two in your life. And that might be a problem for the next 2 weeks, but it's okay. It's not going to last. Nothing ever does. And you'll get through it and it'll be okay. So, for the few of you that this message is for, take that to heart. For the rest of you, I think, things are starting to get a glimmer of what you're wishing for here, like we said earlier. Okay, I think that's all we have to say for pile 2. Don't forget that if you to hit the like button, hit the subscribe bell so you can get notified of any new readings or other videos that we put up. And if you'd like to donate to the channel for any reason, we'll have a link down in the description that you can donate through PayPal. And we will see you next time. Hey, hello, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. And we have a die here with a number 4 on it. Now, 4s are denoting stability and balance. So we'll see if that has much to do with this reading or not. A lot of times they have, actually, in the last couple, so we'll see. We got the 5 of Wands. Oh boy, okay. And the 3 of Cups. And the Ace of Cups. Oh, we got some emotional stuff going on here. The Fool, or the Traveler, as I like to call it. The Empress. Okay. The Princess of Swords, or that would be like the Page of Swords. The Two of Swords. The Five of Pentacles. Wow, okay. Put these two together here. And let's see. The Moon card. Oh my goodness. We've got lots of emotional stuff going on here. And the World card. Okay, guys. Kind of what's striking me from the very beginning was we've got some Cups cards, which are very emotionally driven. We've got the Moon and the Empress, which is somewhat emotional. We've got these Swords cards, the Two and the Princess, which they can also be emotional, but more anxious kind of emotions. And then we also have the two fives. We have the Five of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. And fives denote change. I see some big changes happening in the next couple of weeks, and they're probably going to be very emotional. They don't have to be bad emotional, but change is very emotional in of itself. Um, We have the Five of Wands here. Wands deal with fire energy and your passions and creativities and that kind of thing. And so once again, lots of emotional stuff going on here since it's, fiery emotions in a lot of ways. I mean, we've got dragons going on here, and they're fighting. There could be lots of fighting and upheavals that way. There could be um, some other stuff, but we've got some things here. You could maybe have some losses financially, or at least worries financially, because we have this Five of Pentacles here, and he's got the Pentacles, but he looks like he's either dying or just not happy with what he has or whatever. There's definitely some change going on here. So it could be dealing with fiery relationships or emotions, or dealing with finances or business or other things. We've got some changes going on, but they don't have to be bad changes necessarily. They just are going to be an upheaval, a big upheaval and very emotional time going on. We've got the Ace and the Moon card, Ace of Cups and the Moon card. Very emotional things going on here. Um, but I think there's some other cards here that can. We've got the Three, and the Three of Cups. You've gone past the two where you have a partnership, and now you have three. And three is a very magical number. It's very creative, that kind of thing. And cups deal a lot with your emotions and your intuition and your subconscious. But three is magical because in a lot of traditions, three is kind of the best. It's best to have three of anything. Like you got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, or you have other things that are in threes, and because of that, they're very strong. You can be very strong in a group of three. uh, you pretty much have a little bit of everything. So even though there's a lot of emotional stuff going on and a lot of things, you could be going on a trip, or you could be going on something that or doing something that's very scary, uh, in the unknown. That's where the traveler comes in. You could be doing something new, brand new, and that could be just scary and emotional and an upheaval in of itself. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a bad upheaval. It could be just something that is very emotional and very dramatic, different, new, uh, going on here. And there could be some battle stuff going on. We got the Two of Swords. They are fighting each other. They're kind of battling it out, but they're also sort of like it's kind of weird. It's almost like they're sparring, but not really battling. And two denotes a relationship or a partnership of some sort, and it could be partner in business, could be partner in love, and maybe you're having some emotional things going on with that. Maybe some battles, maybe some fights, maybe some things going on that's going to be emotional. But once again, it doesn't have to end badly or be a very bad thing. It could just be a very emotional time in the next 2 weeks. Um, and that's kind of where the Princess of Swords comes in a little bit. Uh, Lots of anxiety, anxiousness. She's waiting here. She's got her cannons on either side. She's on the lookout for bad things to happen. We got the fall leaves coming. She's very worried. She's very nervous about what's going on out there, and her troops coming back, or what might come to pass. If a battle's coming to her, it could be either way. So once again, more emotional upheaval, more anxiety, more things to worry about. Maybe some battles, maybe some fights, upheavals. Okay, so that's definitely what's going to go on in the next couple weeks. But we've got the Empress card here, and she can be emotional, but she's also balanced. She's got the sun and the moon. She's got the moon in her staff, so she's in charge of that. She can be in charge of your emotions. And I kind of think that she's kind of denoting here, even though you've got a lot of upheavals and a lot of worries and newness and things going on, you can be in charge of your emotions. you can be in charge of what's going on here. And when you do, things will look somewhat brighter and a little bit better for you. So even when you're going through all of this, if you remember that we can choose how we react to situations, we can make that decision ourselves. You can be the empress. You can be the one that's in charge of your emotions and how you deal with things. And that will make these upheavals a lot less difficult if you can do that. Okay, now we've got some Black Moon Tarot astrology cards here, and we'll see if we can pull out one to maybe clarify some things or maybe pull out anything special for somebody. That was more than one card, so we're not going to take that. We'll do this again. See what we can get. Oh, there we go. Okay, Mars energy and another 5 card. Once again, change and fights, emotions, battles. Okay, Mars is very much a fiery energy again. It's a very emotional and it's a 5, so it's change. I think it just goes right along with this once again. We've got a lot of change going on. But the 4, which was part of the beginning of your reading here on the dice, it's important to balance out the next 2 weeks. Seek as much balance as you can get because we have a lot of change in emotions happening. But I think you need to look towards the 4 as much as possible. Look towards that balance. Look towards what you can get. And I think that will help you out a lot. Let's see what the book has to say about this Mars card in case there's any extra little gems we can pull out here. War does not determine who is right, only who is left. Bertrand Russell. Okay. The Mars card suggests there is something you may have to fight for. The red planet, fiery Mars, is named after the god of war and agriculture, the primary military deity among the Romans. All festivals for Mars in ancient Rome were in March, the month that heralds in the solar time of Aries, the sign that Mars rules. Named by the ancients the bright and burning one, Mars is considered an inner planet, so that means it is capable of being seen by the human eye. Its landscape is reddish-orange, its pictures often shown in unfathomable pinky sky. Mars makes us shove hard in a way the other planets don't. One might call him the bully among the planets. Mars is the ruler of sexuality and aggression. It is a lustful planet that drives us, allows us to face the difficult challenges in life, and to follow our passions no matter what stands in the way. If we did not have a Mars, we could not know how to fight. This card also means to push back in terms of defense. When Mars is strong in a chart or a reading, you may either face aggressive situations with the need to confront or defend, or an intense, rousing sexual encounter, which may or may not involve romance. Mars indicates overwhelming attractions. This is a time when you feel not only forced but driven. Okay, I think that definitely goes along with what we've been shown here is you might have to fight for something or you might have very strong passionate emotional reaction to something. But it's also a strength card. Mars is very strong. Since he is the fighter, he is strong. And so know that you've got the Empress here that can make you strong, make you be able to tame your emotions like we talked about earlier. And then we've got Mars who can help you in the battle. Okay, so if you have a battle dealing with the next couple of weeks, Mars can be your strength in that battle, and the Empress can be your strength for channeling your emotions and keeping those in check. Okay? I think that's all we have for pile 3 today. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and hit the bell icon and subscribe to the channel. That way you can get notified by any new readings we have or any other videos we put up. And if you'd like to donate to the channel for any reason, there's a PayPal link in the description. And we will see you next time.